Currently, this video will be on Americanization, and the last video cut off right at my mother's family that came from Brazil was made to speak English. Okay, so we'll continue with that line of logic. One of the things that has degraded the United States is that recently, since World War II, because we didn't want to look like Nazis, of course, we've relaxed Americanization, especially since 1965, when we started bringing in everybody from God knows where. We have relaxed Americanization. One of the magical things about the United States was basically through Americanization, we forced people to behave like Americans, whether they came from Poland or Germany or Mexico, etc. We made them into United States citizens before they were allowed to be United States citizens. And we didn't just take anybody. That's the other thing. We didn't take everybody, which was a setup from France, I think, on the Statue of Liberty. So why is Americanization important? Many people don't understand that a lot of people that have come to the United States, when you see second and third generation Americans, whether they're Muslim or Hindu or Catholic or whatever, they do become Americans and behave like Americans most of the time, unless they are really inculcated within a special system of a special system of rearing, such as Hasidic Jews or some of the more stringent Islamic people. There are other people that seem biologically incapable of assimilating for whatever reason that may be. But my point is that the magic of the United States, the reason the United States has been able to take so many different people from Asia, from Latin America, from Europe, and make them work together is because we forced a cohesive American culture on immigrants and on people that came here. And people wanted to be American because of what America used to stand for. The United States was the first people's anti-imperialist movement, and the empire that we stood up against was the British Empire. Despite what people think, at one time the United States was against capitalist globalism, which at the time was represented by Great Britain. Since World War I, it seems like we started becoming lackadaisical with our attitudes towards imperialism and with our attitudes towards the British Commonwealth. But the problem here is this. This is when our values started teetering toward a pro-British, pro-Israeli attitude, which is, of course, anti-American. And we started adopting this bullying attitude, which is, again, why people like me voted for Donald Trump, was to start negotiating with people, which Trump seemingly has not been able to do until recently. And hopefully this is a sign that we will begin negotiating instead of supporting a military industrial complex and this bullying attitude, which is so patently anti-American that it's ridiculous. Now, why people might say, well, you support a Pan-American Union. Isn't that a type of a type of empire? No, the concept of a Pax Americana, or a peaceful Americas, basically goes to the point that we need to promote peace through prosperity, first and foremost in the Americas. This is not a strange, or shouldn't be a strange concept to anybody. However, with Europeans, for example, the Europeans have never sought a lasting peace between the various European nations, except under the Holy Roman Empire and Roman Catholicism, which basically went into retrograde because of the lack of individual authority and things of that nature of the individual European nations. And of course, monarchism was the rule at the time, and monarchs don't like a foreigner, like the Pope, deciding their rules in their country, hence Henry VIII and that sort of thing. But this concept of peace through prosperity is a good idea, especially now that we have technology at the level where it is. We've had people like Lyndon LaRouche, who I mentioned earlier, that have promoted the concepts of forestation of arid regions in the United States, desalination in the western United States for California to have enough water to thrive. These things are good ideas, but also to reach out to other nations, as the United States has done. We have done this through the Peace Corps and through other things. We've reached out to other nations. For example, I just saw the other day that the USDA is teaching Pakistanis how to grow vegetables. This is how we should be promoting peace. We should retain a very strong military, a very powerful military, capable of devastating other countries, but we should not be using that military. That military should be reserved for when we need it, not simply as a means to get what we want out of other countries. So the retention or the reclamation of an anti-imperialist America, an anti-imperialist United States, is what people like me, what real conservatives that really support a constitutional republic want to see. Conservatism in the United States has basically become a joke. It's become the promotion of paying lip service to religion, which is nonsensical in many ways. To even embrace this, the religion as strong as the evangelicals do, especially when it's religion in support of a foreign power such as Israel, as many evangelicals are diehard in support of Israel. But conservatism has also become basically, how much money can I make and how much money can I hold on to? See, people confuse fiscal conservatism, which that isn't even fiscal conservatism, because it's only benefiting the top people, not even the top earners. We're talking generational money is who's benefiting mostly from policies of, say, George W. Bush and other people. But what conservatism has lost is the constitutionality, the idea of anti-imperialism, the idea of promoting individual liberty and also order. The problem that people have is, like, for example, libertarians love individual liberty. What they forget about is individual responsibility. And that's an important factor. So I kind of like where I see things going at the moment with Trump wanting to negotiate or at least even meet with Kim Jong-un. And I'm hopeful for what may come out of the Summit of the Americas in Peru. And I'm happy with the fact that the tariffs that he will be instituting will not be affecting Mexico or Canada. I'd be happier if I heard it didn't affect any of the countries of the Americas. And that's all I have to say with this video.